Yo, this better be worth it.
It will be, trust me.
Otherwise I'm hitting you all the way off. Where'd you go? Hello? Are you good? Hello? What you just watched, I can't explain at all. From my friend acting odd to falling into this bizarre tunnel, everything that just happened in the past 2 minutes wasn't just strange, but should be impossible. This world was created a matter of minutes ago, and obviously this tunnel wasn't natural. So along with my friend suddenly wearing a pumpkin on her head, and somehow defying the physics of the powdered snow, this whole situation left me freaked out, and equally captivated. But before I had the chance to catch up with my thoughts, something quickly caught my eye. Put on danger ahead. I didn't know what to think about the sign, let alone if I should even listen to it. But with the fact that this place was clearly unnatural, and yet somehow in my friend's world, I decided to take a gamble. Because despite being surrounded in the unfamiliar, somehow I could sense the good intentions behind the sign's message. Hello. You're probably confused. Understandable, but I'm friend. This place dangerous. Me help you. Pumpkin is most important. Do not take off, otherwise danger will come. Pumpkin is also dangerous too. Wear too long, and it will become stuck. If Pumpkin's stuck, you become snowman. Pumpkin is also tricky. Everything look like snowman, but not everything actually snowman. However, no pumpkin will give you no chance of leaving. To live, you must be snowman. If you die, you will be a snowman. I was man once, but particles from body mean I am soon not to be. Cannot read directions anymore, but I leave them for you. Directions lead to almost exit. Book leads you, you lead me. Friend? I agreed to his request, hoping that in the midst of our exploration, I would be able to stumble upon my friend. In the meantime, I decided to call my newfound friend Riley, and we quickly set out on a journey for the exit. As me and my new friend climbed through the maze of houses, something chilling started to occur. All of a sudden I was beginning to freeze, and as much as I tried to escape, I realized I wasn't able to move at all. I didn't know the cause or what to do, but Riley did, and he told me earlier. The puzzle pieces suddenly clicked together. It was the pumpkin. I swiftly took it off, bringing the freezing to a halt. Luckily for me, Riley was telling the truth, and he was an actual snowman. But above all else, I could now confidently confirm that he was an ally. So I put the pumpkin back on, and we continued forth. When we entered the room, I was ready to promptly dive in the water as instructed. But then it hit me. One major obstacle, with two massive problems stemming from it, suddenly became evident. Water is fatal for snowmen. If the snowman that just entered the room watched me dive in the water, I was at risk of exposing myself. And secondly, This path under the water was only viable to me, meaning I'd need to find a workaround for Riley. I went into the nearby room to see if there was anything of use. Along the walls was a stone-ledge staircase leading up into another area. The only problem being that it went in the opposite direction of where the book pointed to, meaning all of Riley's work would be thrown out the window, and the confident assurance of a highly possible exit would be eliminated. So I pondered to myself, weighing out the two options I had. An escape pursued by selfishness, or a risk filled with selflessness. And in a world that's both unfamiliar and dangerous, it was kindness that first greeted me when I entered. So I was willing to return that favor. The next room seemed to be a museum of sorts, filled with miscellaneous items. But as we reached the end of the museum, we realized it was a dead end. I knew I wasn't going to give up then and there, so I decided to take my pumpkin off to get a better gauge of the situation. After searching for a little while, I realized there was a doorway hidden behind an ice wall. Without thinking, I broke the ice, causing water to rapidly flow out. Luckily, Riley reacted in time and moved out of the way, but I knew there was no wiggle room for him to get past the water. So I had to come up with a solution. Then it hit me. Behind every enclosure there was a block I could gather. If I gathered at least 2 blocks, then used those blocks to patch up the water, then he could enter safely. Out of nowhere, a monstrous noise echoed throughout the halls, and then I realized the water from the ice had melted away the bottom of the entrance, giving whatever was out there the perfect glimpse of my true form. I knew whatever it wasn't a snowman, but in the same aspect, I had no clue what it was, and I wasn't gonna bet that water was enough to hold it back, so I blocked up the entrance. At this point the entire place was almost entirely flooded, but the opening was now accessible for Riley. Suddenly, I began to freeze again. But it wasn't the pumpkin. I had fallen into a layer of powdered snow. I knew I had to act quickly, but I began to panic as there was another snowman in the room. If I broke the powdered snow, I was in trouble, but if I froze to death, I would permanently become a snowman. I was torn between two problems, and unable to act upon either of them. Suddenly, Riley stood in front of me, granting me the chance to break free without risk. In that moment, all I wanted to do was thank Riley. And despite not being able to, somehow I knew he felt my gratitude. We began to fly past rooms like it was nothing, until we came face to face with our most difficult challenge yet. A long winding room scattered with towering ice pillars, with several snowmen wandering at the bottom. Despite feeling a little bit hesitant, I knew we had come too far to turn back now, so I decided to take the challenge head on. Once again, I started to freeze, but this time the stakes were at an all-time high. No protection, no Riley to help, just me, surrounded by a dozen snowmen, and a doorway just out of reach. So far, every time I've needed to take the pumpkin off, I had the privilege to do so, and the one time I ran into danger because of it, I had the opportunity to protect myself. But there was no escaping from this situation. Unless I decided to embrace the danger. Unfortunately, we were off path again, but this time Riley sacrificed its chance for me. I didn't really understand why he did it. Sure, he couldn't read the directions, but he knew we were on the right path, and yet decided to abandon it. Which I appreciated. I suppose when you're lost in both an unfamiliar place and in your own mind, friendship is stronger than anything. As we walked through this area, I truly began to wonder about the nature of this place. Like I previously stated, there was no way that this place was natural. But if it wasn't, then how was its existence possible? There was obvious delicate precision within these builds, which led me to assume that it was man-made. But once again, this world was created just today. So what if this place was beyond this world? What if it already existed before we loaded into it? But then that would eliminate the assumption that this place was man-made. Then again, as far as I can tell, there are no players around, and it doesn't seem like their existence is welcome. So perhaps this place wasn't man-made at all, but maybe something entirely different. But as I pondered to myself, I suddenly realized Riley was nowhere to be seen. I felt bad. Who knows how long Riley has truly been down here for? But I knew in that moment, I was even more dedicated to bring us to the exit. Riley was a player after all. He's had the chance to play the game this entire time. Just not the privilege. We eventually found the end, but there was a massive gap dividing us and the exit. The gap was too wide to jump across, making the exit just out of reach. I thought about going around it by breaking the stone blocks, but with all the snowmen around, that option would warrant sudden danger. Then suddenly, the worst began to happen. The chilling sensation ran up and down my body. I started to panic. There was nowhere to hide, nowhere to run to, nowhere that was safe. Even if I took the pumpkin off for a millisecond, I'd have no chance of survival. We made it. As I stood there, I basked in the moment, enjoying the victory this journey has led us on. All the risks and close calls finally felt fulfilled due to our win. My body and mind was full of astonishment, but also happiness. We actually made it to the end. In an impossible world, somehow I managed to form a bond with a snowman. My smile couldn't have been wider. I turned to Riley with absolute glee. My smile disappeared, and so did his particles. In the blink of an eye, Riley was gone, and suddenly, the world felt a little bit colder without him. Not just a friend, but a good man.